extra clothes are too hot. Too big.
find some neat rocks here?
No. We're just collecting crap.
I was gonna say, I found a couple.
I'm about ready to run out of room on my cell phone.
You ran out of room? Is that what you said?
I said I'm almost ready to run out of room on my cell phone. So I'm getting these camping videos. I've got about 30 to 60 town videos, and everything else is just good stuff. I'm gonna have to put them on that thing that I have. I guess I could go out and buy a new microphone and a new camera and that stuff. That whole field's sparkling. US mail?
What's that?
US mail?
If in doubt, use truck route, huh?
I wonder if he was in doubt. Sightseeing.
Coming up here.
Rock and construction worker. That was me one of those days.
Somebody used it recently.
I made it all the way up to the top of that hill. Alright, hill like that. Couldn't be
That'd be
better.
scary to me.
Huh?
That'd be scary to me, getting all that loose dirt. You're like,
Once you start hitting that thing, those ramps, those truck stop pretty quick.
I guess if you really hold tight, just fucking hold on.
So I called the bank and told them what was going on and everything. They'll get me into the account. said that before, haven't I? Somebody came and took it off. They had another gang coming by. that's pretty clean to go into.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
What?
I said maybe. Nice old car.
Somebody put a sold sign on it. Steve gets sold to the gangs, right? There it is, the Holiday Inn.
It's like
Oh my God!
It's $200 a night to stay there.
Jesus. Well, I paid 192 one time. Reno. Because I didn't think I could sleep with Riverside and them talking about raping me. I told the guy that too. Doody 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 doo. I got the right away. And the bike lane.
They got an awesome bike trails around here.
Motorized bike trails.
And they keep moving you around too.
That was a good move, guy. Double yellow in there. It's not a fucking turn lane. Is that legal move?
Probably not. Well, when you're trying to get around somebody,
Mailbox. There's your old supermarket.
the old stomping ground.
I don't miss driving up here, but I wouldn't mind driving it once in a while.
What's that?
I don't miss driving up here, but I wouldn't mind driving it once in a while.
I don't miss driving up here certain times of the year and certain times of the day.
Can't believe I saw Eric Promo today. I think he recognized me, he just didn't say anything. I'll get on his website tonight and I'll ask him if he comes to Colorado. To the CDD team. No. Is that little Nick? No. Too fat. Too tall. Wow, we were traffic this morning.
I think anything past 9 o'clock in this town sucks.
In the morning?
Yep. From 9 till about 11 at night. I mean, look at it's clear back up here.
Yes. Hang on, I'll get the keys. That idea ain't gonna work. Right? Safer in there, don't you think?
Took me off to a route.
Yeah, there she goes. Almost.
That's like she wanted to, huh?
It's a guy.
No, whatever.
Say doll. Sound like you said doll. Forester. I got about 4 or 5 rocks. They're all different sizes. Look about like this big rock. Well, I've got around a lot of neat stuff. I said, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and make videos. I'm not gonna pick up any rocks today. Sure.
Distance. What a dick.
Who?
The guy that got me out of the lane. He's going all the way down to the post office. The first stoplight. Very much illegal. He's going all the way. What a dick. Because you don't want to wait.
thinking that was gravity or turn around and take some spray paint and go right on the yard. Let's go around. That looked like quarry, kind of. Just a little bit off, though. There's that ugly car again.
This is the part I used to love.
Huh?
This is the section I used to get my aggressions out, I guess. Because this is the right-of-way lane that we're in. And I fucking speed up when people try to pass me on the other lane. I had one guy flipping me off, fucking on his horn, because I ran him down. All the way down to here. And he finally had to slow down enough to get behind me. I wasn't gonna let him in.
So you said that was the place that you, part of the road that you loved, right?
Yeah. Just that one. I mean, I didn't love it. Sometimes it sucked because people were dickheads. Sometimes I got to get my revenge.
Sometimes you what?
Got to get my revenge.
Steamboat's probably about the size of Oklahoma was.
Size of what?
Oklahoma was.
I want to say it's about 8,000 people live here. And then it goes up to about 40,000 in the winter.
No, we can't do anything tomorrow. We got laundry. You know, but take a shower with you tomorrow. Well, there's where Circle is. Circle.
Wow.
The Circle. there for 20 miles. There's the steamboat gang. When did you get home today?
9:20, 9:30.
9:30?
We were leaving town at 10:30.
Still 7 and 8. That's just still 8 hours of driving. Meow nerd. Yeah. that it says subscribe, so I'm still getting the stuff that I had. I lost it. I get a lot of emails and stuff, but I'm still missing a lot of stuff. A lot of people I subscribe to.
She was the only one in the house, right?
Yeah, she was sleeping and I didn't turn on the AC. It's only 78 out here, shit.
Well, plus you left the AC on, right?
Huh?
Plus you left the gate. Oh no, you turned it off, huh?
What?
The AC, you turned it off, huh? There's a fan going in there, though.
Yeah, the fan's going on. The AC's not running, but
It'll be fine.
I opened up the window about halfway. So she could have enough fresh air. And I left the fan running. What?
I can't hear anything you say.
Did you want that other burger right now?
Yeah, right this second. Stop for all the traffic.
This place again. This is bathroom here. Sneeze when I come over here. Brandy, I'm going in there. Remember I told you about Heather Adams and how said she stole $284 million from me? Why would she still be living in a stupid apartment? She didn't do it. She would have been out of that apartment in a heartbeat. have seen that one in case you really don't want to.
Criminal network, including someone called the Ketamine Queen. 5 people have been charged in Perry's death. Robert Garova is a reporter at LAist. He was watching the press conference where this was announced today. Hey there, Robert.
Hi, Mary Louise.
So remind us the basic facts of Perry's death.
Bugs.
Well, most folks, of course, know Matthew Perry as Chandler Bing from Friends. He was only 54 years old when he died last fall. He'd been found in his hot tub, and like you said, an autopsy found that ketamine was the primary cause. Perry had written, about his struggles with addiction, and authorities referenced that today. They said the people who are charged in this case really took advantage of that.
And who are they? Who are the people charged?
They announced charges against 5 people. One is named Jasveen Sangya, who authorities are calling the Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood. The indictment alleges that it was Sangya's distribution of ketamine last fall that caused Perry's death. And authorities said they executed a search warrant in his home, and they found a lot. They said it was a, quote, drug-selling emporium with cocaine, prescriptions, mushrooms, a lot of stuff. She was arrested today.
Yeah, but they also charged blood.
Wow.
Yeah. Doctor at the door. Placencia. Perry met Placencia while looking to buy ketamine. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said today that Placencia saw an opportunity to profit off of Perry's addiction. He said he wrote in a text message last fall that, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay," end quote. Estrada said Perry paid $55,000 for some 20 vials of ketamine over 2 months last year. Placencia is going to face conspiracy to distribute ketamine and other charges, and he's also been charged with 2 counts of altering and falsifying documents related to this federal investigation. And then there was another doctor involved, but it's worth noting that Perry's live-in personal assistant was also charged. Prosecutors said it was, this assistant who injected Perry with ketamine on the night that he died last fall, and authorities said, he had no business, no training to be able to do that.
I mean, I do want to note, ketamine is an approved drug. It does have approved uses. Did we learn more today about how and why Perry was using it?
Yeah, a Drug Enforcement Administration official said, at that press conference today that in seeking out treatment for anxiety and depression, Perry had become addicted to ketamine at a clinic. Usually ketamine is only cleared for anesthesia. Nasal spray version is also approved for depression, but only in supervised settings. That official said Perry had become addicted to ketamine at the clinic. Doctors refused to increase his dosage, and that's when he turned to other doctors who were, ready to take advantage for profit.
Robert Garova from LAist. Thank you very much for your reporting.
Thanks.
Second gentleman of the United States. Now he's aiming to be the first gentleman. The life of Doug. In just a few minutes, when all things considered. This is CPR News. I'm Nathan Hepp. So glad you're along this Thursday evening. When you look at your lawn, you may think, it's alive, right? With crawling things every time you take a step in the grass. But look closer, it's actually a sea of grasshoppers. And this summer's heat is probably happening. Right.
Some of those.
Denverite.com's Kevin Beatty did a deep dive on why there are so many grasshoppers around this time of year. And the reason, the heat makes some of the bugs go underground, but not grasshoppers. They kind of like the heat. And so they hang out. A lot of them. All over your garden. Stay with us. This is CPR News at 6:19.
Support comes from the Grand Mesa Arts and Events Center in Cedar Edge, delivering music, art, and education to the Western Slope with the Stars Guitars Summer Concert Series, Fridays through September 6th. GMAEC.org.
CPR News and KRCC keep you in the know. Listen at work, wherever you're working. Just ask your smart speaker, play CPR News to stay connected at home.
After a whirlwind start to their campaign, Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are headed to Chicago for the Democratic National Convention. They'll formally accept their nominations for president and vice president, capping off a stunning few weeks in American politics. I'm Tamara Keith. Join us all next week for live special coverage from NPR News.
Live coverage begins Monday evening at 7 on KRCC, CPR News, and on the Colorado Public Radio app.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Amazon Music. Prime members get access to a catalog of podcasts ad-free, including NPR shows Up First and News Now. Available by downloading the Amazon Music app or visiting amazon.com/ad-free. And from Progressive Insurance. Progressive is looking for dedicated and forward-thinking individuals to join their growing team. More information, including application, at progressive.com/careers. This is NPR.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News. I'm Ari Shapiro.
And I'm Mary Louise Kelly. A new film released this past week in the UK addresses the country's complicated relationship with racial and religious identities. It hits the screens just as far-right protests against Muslim communities and immigration policies have rocked and shocked dozens of British towns and cities. From London, Villa Marks reports.
After the shocking murder of 3 young girls at a Taylor Swift dance club last month, the town of Southport came together to commemorate their lives. Just months after that impromptu vigil, as online social media posts incorrectly identified the suspect as a Muslim immigrant, dozens of masked men surrounded the nearby mosque. The violence that ensued overwhelmed police and horrified much of the local community. But it also spawned many more copycat riots nationwide, forcing Britain's latest public reckoning with race, racism, and intolerance, and still sometimes directed at minority groups in an increasingly multicultural country. It's the kind of occasionally uncomfortable reckoning that is at the heart of a new British movie, Sky Pills, that premiered this past Friday. It centers on a young British Asian man called Adam Mohammed, played by actor Fadil Zayul. He works at a service station on a busy British highway. And comes to believe his South Asian father was in fact extraterrestrial, as he explains in one memorable scene to members of the shock therapy.
If you've got anything to share, please feel free.
You don't need air conditioning.
It's what we do here.
I think my dad might have been an alien. Ayub, as Adam, asks searching questions about personal identity. Some quietly and rather eerily examines his place in the world.
Do you ever wonder if you're in the right place? Like, this is where you're supposed to end up.
The British Film Institute released the movie in the UK, the first feature from writer and director Moin Hussain, who has a mixed English and Pakistani heritage that he says played a part in his decision to develop this project.
It's a sense of not like being sure as to where to place yourself, having a foot in both camps, but not entirely being part of another. With this film, I kind of guess it's up to a level to its biggest extreme in terms of these ideas of alienation and communication and contact.
He says the film is also about isolation and loneliness that often drives people's confusion around identity and sometimes motivates misguided violence that finds seen recently across Britain.
It's this fact that we don't feel we can place ourselves in the world or understand the world, or in this country at least, I'm sure it's applicable for a lot of places, but definitely it feels like it's kind of, it puts the film in a new light.
Hussain raises questions in the movie about identity that he says work almost selfishly as much for himself to answer as anyone else. But they seem to have impacted audiences too, with viewers online hailing the films haunting but also unsettling, as conversations in contemporary British culture about these complex topics often are as well. NPR News, I'm Glenn Morris.
A week from tonight, Vice President Harris will speak at the Democratic National Convention, which also will be her 10th wedding anniversary. As Harris tries to become the first female president, her husband,
realtors and some family members. But her husband, second gentleman Doug Emhoff, was running down the street in Los Angeles.
Secret Service running behind me, got into the car, pulled out my phone, and my phone was literally like self-immolated. And of course it was a series of messages, call Kamala, call Kamala.
That's Emhoff speaking to Pete Barella in a podcast episode, describing how he was in the middle of grabbing coffee with friends when the news broke. Emhoff was all the way out on the West Coast for events he was doing on reproductive rights, an issue he's been vocal about since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. He spoke about it last month in Virginia at a medical clinic that provides abortions and said women getting turned away from care is wrong.
It's barbaric, it's immoral, and it must change.
Another issue he's taken on is the rise in anti-Semitism. He's the first Jewish spouse of any president or vice president. And after the Hamas attacks on October 7th, Emhoff was a passionate voice for Israel.
We witnessed a mass murder of innocent civilians. It was a terrorist assault. There is never any justification for terrorism.
But before all of these serious policy issues, Emhoff was maybe best known as a wife guy, hyped up husband who was posting about his famous wife on social media. Here he is in an interview with Esquire.
Yeah, there may not be justification for terrorism that kills 3,000. Does that make it justified to have a war that kills 40,000?
Recently, when news broke that Emhoff had
And
cheated
still
on
not
his
get the
first
background?
person. When he has 2 adult kids, both he and his ex-wife released statements that said they continue to have a good relationship with each other and with Harris as a co-parent. Friends of Harris and Emhoff say the second gentleman makes it a priority to be a good partner. Here's California Senator LaFonza Butler.
I love me some Doug Emhoff. He is an unrelenting, unflinching partner. When things are tough, he is right there at our highest highs and lowest lows. He is there.
That element of Emhoff's personality could play out well politically, says Kevin Liao, a Democratic strategist in California.
He's a middle-aged man, he's a dad, he's a sportsman, he's seemingly a regular dude, and I think that's really a strength that he should lean into.
Emhoff has been to the NFL draft, showed up at WNBA games, and was at the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. He spoke about his love of sports on the Rich Eisen show last month.
It's something I love, like so millions of other people, but I do it to show that we can all come together.
Emhoff is a diehard fan of the LA Rams and said people at the White House don't hesitate to connect about the football team. Liao says Emhoff's connection to sport could appeal to voters who are collectively opposed.
It doesn't necessarily earn a vote, but it helps people be willing to listen the next time that shows up on the TV.
And that really matters when you want an election that will be decided on the margins. Chevron and Fair News.
Today, August 15th, is International Apostrophe Day, and this could not have come at a more perfect time, particularly when it comes to writing the possessive name of the Democratic candidates for president and vice president.
Now, since we're on the radio, spelling doesn't much matter, but I'm curious, is it Harris apostrophe S or just Harris apostrophe? And don't get me started on Walz's. The team here at All Things Considered recently asked our copy editing experts what to do about these possessive apostrophes on a name that ends in Z or S.
Well, it turns out if you bring on that ends in S, we'll only get an apostrophe at the end, not an extra S and an apostrophe. So in the sentence, we saw Harris's books. NPR writes Harris apostrophe.
Walz's? Just apostrophe S, I think.
And to be a bit bipartisan about it all, 7-term Republican Congressman Rudy Boschwitz's name, ending with a Z, that ends in an apostrophe.
Now, not every outlet agrees on this. The Washington Post does it differently. They have their own rules.
But at NPR, this is how we do it. The apostrophe.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Retail sales were up more than expected last month, but consumers are still looking for deals where they can find them. What that means for the economy, next on Marketplace. This is CPR News. I'm Nathan Heffel. And Aurora booted hundreds from an apartment building recently, leaving many scrambling to find housing. Denverite.com followed one mother of 3 as she figured out what to do next. She had just 6 days of notice before the entire building was evicted. Aurora police arrived at 7 a.m. one morning to tell people to leave and be arrested. Kyle Harris and Kevin Beatty were there, read and share their story like coming to Denverite.com. You know, everyday CPR, Denverite, and KRCC reporters fan out across the state uncovering the news you need to hear and lifting up those stories you just can't
That'd be
miss.
pretty rough, wouldn't it?
It's all thanks to you. You are truly appreciated. Thanks so much. This is CPR News.
Marketplace is supported by GitLab. More than 50% of the Fortune 100 rely on GitLab to develop, secure, and deploy software faster. More at GitLab.com.
All right, you got about a minute to think of your best question about this economy, and then we'll see if we match. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Amazon Business, focused on offering smart business buying solutions, leaving time to focus on growth. More at AmazonBusiness.com. And by Progressive. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects small businesses with customizable coverage options as unique as your business. More at ProgressiveCommercial.com. And by Crowley, a logistics, energy, and maritime solutions company with nearly 135 years of innovation and a commitment to sustainability. Learn more at Crowley.com.
In Los Angeles, I'm Kai Rizdal. It is Thursday today. This one is the 15th of August. Good as always to have you along, everybody. Okay, so if you had a voting member of the interest rate setting Federal Open Market Committee on the phone and you had 6, maybe 7 minutes to ask him anything you wanted, where would you start? The backdrop, of course, is that the Fed's main interest rate has been at about 5.5%, what economists like to call restrictive, for more than a year now. The labor market is showing some signs of strain, and inflation, as we learned yesterday when the Consumer Price Index came in at 2.9%, is the lowest it's been in more than 3 years. Do you think about your first question? I am going to throw mine to Raphael Bostic. He's the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. Dr. Bostic, great to have you back on the program.
Good to be back with you, Kai.
So you get CPI the other day. You get it a day early, right?
I do not. I get it with everybody else.
All right. So you get it yesterday morning, and you see 2.9%. And what's the first thing you think?
The first thing I think is inflation is getting back to target in an orderly way. And I have, a lot more confidence that inflation is sustainably on its way to 2%, which is a very good thing. The top line numbers have been falling consistently. The PCE before the CPI had fallen nicely. And the CPI number is the first time since March of 2021 that had been below 3%. So lots of progress, and that's very positive.
All right, so look, you said a couple of magic words in there. It's proceeding orderly toward 2%. You have more confidence. The next question has to be, what's taking you guys so long?
Well, I think you have to remember, our target is 2%, is not 2.9 or 3.2. There's still a ways to go, and things can happen on that road. So I think it's in all of our interests to be cautious and vigilant to make sure that the next reading doesn't take us in a different direction. I think I've been on your show about a year ago, and I was saying that we're going to have to wait this out and just be patient. Because if we rush, go too soon, and then have to raise rates again, that's the nightmare scenario. So I want to make sure that we avoid that.
Understood. But a year ago, unemployment was, I don't have the number right in front of me, but certainly less than 4%. Now it's ticking up. It's 4.3%. And the labor market is starting to look a little, How much does that change your calculation?
Well, it's definitely a factor. You know, when I talk about the labor market, the phrase I use is weakening, but not weak. By historical standards, the unemployment rate of even the 4.3% is pretty low. Now, what you said is true. It's come off of a 3.4% level. So that's a lot of weakening. But when I talk to businesses, what they tell me is, although they're not looking to hire a lot of workers, they're actually not in layoff mode either. Their outlooks are that demand is going to stay strong, and that the workforce they have today is going to be one that will sustain. So it's still tight out there. I mean, I try to remind people, right before the pandemic happened, everyone was saying labor markets are tight, and how can we continue to have a strong economy if we can't find workers? We're kind of in that space again.
Is it fair for us, for those of us rather who keep a close eye on the Fed, to intuit that you all are starting to, I mean, it's not that you haven't been paying attention to the labor market, but inflation has been taking up virtually all of your brain space. Do you now have more brain space for the labor market as it weakens, but is not the case you say?
I definitely do. You know, the thing that I'm most concerned about at this point is that we have a dual mandate, and both of them need to get to their target. Inflation is moving in the right direction. Employment might be moving in the wrong direction. And so the thing I'm most concerned about is that this weakening that we've seen accelerates in such a way that jobs stop being produced. And then that might lead to more disruption and pain in the labor force. What I would say right now, though, is I'm pretty pleased that that's...
I'll have to come back and get the rest of that stuff. And you want your burger cooked?
I don't want that burger.
Huh?
I didn't have a burger. I had a chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay. Want it cooked?
No, not hungry right now.
Not right now?
No.
Come back and get the rest of that stuff.
I'm about ready to crash.